It's now here we go. Oliver Skipp will be joining Leicester City. The fee quoted is £20 million and it could rise to £25 million, including add-ons. The medical will take place on Sunday and the deal will be completed sometime on Monday. Of course, Leicester face Spurs on Monday evening. Fabrizio Romano has just stated that Giovan Lo Celso wants to leave Tottenham in this summer transfer window. Ange Postecoglou has come out and said, usually in my second season, I win things. Postecoglou has also said, we've had another positive transfer window. We have made our squad and team stronger.
Chris Cowlin. Fan cams. Club news. Transfer news. Match previews. Legend interviews. Spurs women. Press conferences. Covering everything Tottenham and England.
Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all keeping well. This is another edition of Tottenham News where I'll be going through all of the latest Spurs news, rumours and reports. If you're watching this on YouTube, please do hit that subscribe button, like, share and comment below. And if you're listening to this on an audio platform, please do hit that follow button and leave a review if you can. So let's start with the biggest news of the day so far. Oliver Skipp, it looks like he will be joining Leicester City on a permanent transfer. Italian journalist and transfer expert Fabrizio Romano has just stated that Leicester City to complete Oliver Skipp deal on Monday after medical tests have been booked. Tottenham will let him leave on a permanent deal after verbal agreement and formal process to follow. Fabrizio Romano has also given the here we go. Oliver Skipp from Tottenham Hotspur to Leicester City. David Ornstein of The Athletic has stated that Leicester City have reached an agreement with Tottenham to sign Oliver Skipp. The 23-year-old midfielder is set to undergo medical on Sunday before completing a permanent move from Tottenham Hotspur to Leicester. Viewed as a good deal all round, clubs meet in Premier League opener on Monday. Sky Sports on the Oliver Skipp story. They are stating that Leicester City are in advanced stages of a deal for Tottenham's Oliver Skipp. The initial fee will be £20 million and it could rise to £25 million with add-ons. Italian journalist and transfer expert Fabrizio Romano has given an update on the possible departure of Spurs midfielder Giovan Lo Celso. Fabrizio Romano has stated Aston Villa and Real Betis are interested in the midfielder, but there could be more clubs interested. It is an open situation with these two clubs leading the race at the moment, but it is really open and there could be surprises for sure. Giovan Lo Celso wants to leave Tottenham Hotspur in the summer transfer window and his plan is clear. Now, Spurs have been linked with Brentford striker Ivan Toney for some time. Well, he has been left out of the Brentford squad today by manager Thomas Frank. The boss has come out and said things are happening for Ivan Toney, so we decided not to involve him in the squad today. There is interest, nothing closed as yet, but things are happening. Spurs boss Ange Postecoglou has been talking ahead of his second season in charge at Tottenham Hotspur. Of course, Spurs start the Premier League season on Monday away at Leicester. He has come out and said, usually in my second season, I win things. That is the whole idea. First year is about establishing principles and creating a foundation. Hopefully the second year is going on to win things. Of course, it's easier said than done, particularly in the Premier League and the competition that we're in. That's always the way that I've looked at it, that the second year you should be in a position where you can push on depending on how the first year has gone. Postecoglou also said last year we had some really good moments. Obviously, we had some tough moments. I think we learned as much from the tough moments as we did from the good stuff. And hopefully that means that we are in a good place. We're definitely a better prepared team than we were last year. Sky Sports asked Ange Postecoglou about the summer transfer window and what will he say to the fans who are feeling anxious about the summer transfer window. His reply was, I understand that anxiety because every transfer window is your only opportunity to improve your playing personnel and your squad. I like to think in every window so far that we have strengthened. Certainly last year we brought in some fantastic footballers. In January we brought in Radu Dragushin and Timo Werner. We've brought in 2 young guys, Archie Gray, who is a fantastic young talent, and Lucas Bergvall joins us, even though we signed him in January, but we still have work to do. There's no doubt about that. That's the nature of the transfer market. Postecoglou then went on to say, for me, I have just as much anxiety because it's part of the year I have least control over. It would be great if I had total control over everything, including what other clubs did. But that doesn't happen. I understand where the fans sit with it. My role within that is to try and stay calm, stay disciplined, and make sure that come the end of the window, which is the most important time, we've had another positive window in that we've made our squad and our team stronger. Spurs' new coach, Nick Montgomery, has spoken out about working at the club and working with a lot of the young players. He said, I'm loving working with the young players here, and Ange Postecoglou has already put a lot of faith into them. The likes of Archie Gray, Lucas Bergvall and Mikey Moore are outstanding talents with so much potential. I played in the same team as Archie's dad, Andy, for a few years at Sheffield United. It's great to be working with a young kid with so much ability and such a great attitude. It's been nice to help Archie Gray settle in and to coach him. He's been great, and we've obviously got a connection with Andy being a former teammate of mine. Montgomery then went on to say Archie Gray can play anywhere. We were down on centre-backs in pre-season at Spurs with Mickey van der Ven and Radu Dragushin at the Euros and Christian Romero at Copa America. But Archie Gray has played centre-half and has been absolutely outstanding. For me, seeing what he did at Leeds United, now he has been playing at Tottenham, it shows why he has become one of the most sought-after teenagers in world football. Now, my thoughts on everything in this episode. Let's start by talking about Oliver Skipp. Here we go to Leicester City. His medical will take place today on Sunday, and hopefully the deal will be completed on Monday. How ironic that Leicester City will, of course, be playing Spurs in our first Premier League game of the brand new season on Monday evening, live on Sky Sports, 8 o'clock. £20 million for Oliver Skipp. I tell you what, I think this is a fantastic deal for all parties, especially Tottenham Hotspur. £25 million it could rise to with appearances and other parts of the deal. I think it is a fantastic deal for Spurs. I've said before on these episodes that players like Oliver Skipp, they should look to move on from the football club, and I do think that it suits everyone. Leicester, of course, need a midfielder. They've got their man. They've got the guy that Steve Cooper wants at Leicester. Ange Postecoglou, I think it was pretty obvious that he wasn't going to use him very much this season. I think he had about 20 appearances last season in all competitions, but not many starts at all. So a player like Oliver Skipp, of course, he is Tottenham through and through. He's come through the academy. I've spoken so highly about him in the past because even when I watched him at 17 years old playing in the under-21s, he was running the games in centre midfield. Jose Mourinho, of course, former Spurs boss, come out and said that Oliver Skipp would be a future Tottenham Hotspur captain. It wasn't to be. It hasn't worked out in that way, and it now looks like Oliver Skipp will be joining Leicester. Of course, former teammate Harry Winks as well at Leicester. So I wish him all of the very best. Hopefully it does go well for him. And as I say, I think it's an excellent deal. That kind of money for a player that has come from our youth team. Let's hope that Ange Postecoglou can now spend that money in the next couple of weeks, or there's less than 2 weeks left now of the summer transfer window. Italian journalist and transfer expert Fabrizio Romano has stated that Giovan Lo Celso now wants to leave Tottenham. I think this is another scenario very similar with Oliver Skipp, very similar with the likes of Emerson Royale. Sometimes I think your time is up at a football club, and it is best for all parties that you part company and go separate ways. And I think that this is definitely the scenario that Giovan Lo Celso is in right now. It's going to be best for him to move on, to get minutes and play regularly for another club. It's going to be best that we cash in and spend the money elsewhere. And Postecoglou has come out and said that he's improved the squad, he's made his team stronger. In my opinion, in this transfer window, in the next 12 days or so, I still feel like we need a couple of experienced players to come in. Of course, it is all about what the manager wants. not about what the fans want. I've said that before. But I still feel like a couple of injuries to key areas in the team, I would feel a lot more comfortable going into the new season. You know, certainly after the transfer window closes, I would feel a lot more comfortable if we had a couple of more experienced players, certainly if they've got experience in the Premier League as well. Ange Postecoglou has come out and said as well, usually in my second season, I win things. I think that we are still a way off from challenging for the Premier League. Of course, we started the Premier League season last year very, very well, unbeaten in 10 games, the first 10 games, sitting top of the Premier League table. But I still feel like we need that depth. I still feel like we need a very, very strong bench if you're going to challenge for the Premier League title and challenge the likes of Manchester City and Arsenal, and of course, you know, teams like Liverpool as well, who are going to be very strong this year and this season. You know, you need a very, very strong squad. Postecoglou has changed an awful lot in this squad in the last 12 months, as I've spoken about at length many times. You know, when you think about how the squad looked 12 months ago to how it looks now, it is extremely different. A lot of players have changed. A lot of players have gone out the door. A lot of players have come in the door. And a lot of changes within the club as well, even at board level, decision-making level, you know, coaching staff, academy. So much has changed at the football club in the past 12 months. And I think most of it for the better as well. And I do get the fact that Spurs are going to be stronger in that final third with Dominic Solanke up front. I'm really looking forward to seeing him make his debut against Leicester on Monday. It's going to be interesting to see Ange Postecoglou's team selection for that game against Leicester on Monday. I do hope and I do expect Spurs to get off to a winning start against Leicester. But I do think there is still a little bit more work to do in this transfer window, and I expect that Spurs will sign a couple more players in the next 12 days. And let's hope that players like Giovan Lo Celso do actually move on in the next 12 days, because we don't want that to be an issue going forward into the new season. And still players like Sergio Reguilon need to move on as well. So I think there is a lot still to happen. I would still expect a lot of players, certainly the younger players, the development players, to go out on loan. So yeah, a lot to happen in the next 12 days, but hopefully Spurs can get off to a winning start on Monday evening against Leicester. Thanks for watching and thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're watching this on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button, like, share and comment below. And if you listen to this on an audio platform, please hit the follow button and leave a review if you can. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'll see you on the next one. Until then, come on you Spurs.